Suddenly the king appeared and then told a group of soldiers to follow him. And they didn't have a coach because it was, it was all a bit impromptu. So they had to kind of requisition this coach. It's almost a sort of follow that taxi kind of moment. Anyway, so the king got into this coach and they sort of trundled down the street with this about 500 probably soldiers behind them, or armed men. They got into the Palace of Westminster. A group of about 80 to 100 went up the stairs and outside the House of Commons, and they sort of bang on the door. And so the debate stopped, and someone sort of went to the door and said, what's going on? They said, well, the king's outside. And they said, okay. And so they opened the door, and then the king came in. They all stood up, because that's what they do. And that's when the king went in and he said to the speaker, William Lenthal, he said, I've come here and I would like to arrest these 5 members. And so he sort of looks around and says, is John Pym here? And silence. Is Denzil Hollis here? Again, silence. So eventually it becomes clear to Charles that they'd all gone. And Lenthal at this point has sort of said, well, I can't say anything because I'm just here to voice the desires of the House, which is a really important moment because he's saying that he, as Speaker, who's actually appointed by the Crown, he says, as Speaker, I am the voice of the House of Commons, who represents the people. I'm not the voice of the Crown. Go away. And by this point, Charles is extremely angry and sort of, storms off and says, oh, I can see my birds have flown. So it's a sort of really dramatic, humiliating moment, actually, for Charles, which could so easily have ended in a massacre.